Audio Marks coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Jared, and Joe, the Four Horsemen of Wrestling Podcast. Four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marks of all ages, are you ready? Because...
You know what? You just made the list.
Hello, Audio Marks. Welcome to the first Marks for Life podcast of the year 2019. This is one of your hosts, Carl C.J. Jones.
And I'm the other one, Jimmy, the Man Bender, I guess.
You ain't no man shit.
I'm more of a man than you.
Nah, it's just because of your beard.
Man, just listen, there's a correlation between beards and men.
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Real men, at least.
Have Liam Neeson, no beard.
Shut
John
up.
Cena, no beard.
Does he really count? He just got
The Rock,
he
no
just got his
beard.
ass handed to him by Becky Lynch in wordplay.
Doesn't matter.
Also another man. The only non-man who can be called a man.
Becky Lynch is more of a man than you.
More of a man than you.
Yeah, but I'm still more of a man than you. So
No,
it's
I'm
Becky,
more.
Me,
No,
than
this
you.
man conversation. We will postpone this right now because we got to talk about a podcast.
All right.
We gotta. New year, new stuff's happening. Really excited about that. Just a couple of housekeeping stuff really quickly. I'm hopefully finishing our website, which will hopefully be up and running by, I don't know, between the end of this month and the end of next month.
All right.
Hopefully. I just got to get a couple more things, and then it'll be ready, and then hopefully from there we can do some other content. I don't know, if we ever want to, like, write out certain opinion pieces or something like that. You know, increase our writing skills. It'll be good for any resume stuff, and it'll be good for people to, you know, read some of the words that we want to speak on the podcast but can't all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. I speak all my words.
Yeah, of course you do. Anyway, and the second thing is that February 9th, at least us two here, me and Carl, are planning to
CJ.
do... Yeah, CJ.
I've been using my name Carl so much that I haven't even called myself CJ. It sucks.
All right, CJ. Me and CJ are planning to do a small indie show here in Long Island, New York, in Deer Park. Shit, I keep forgetting what it's called. It's FFW's Revelations with the Monster Abyss, who will be there. In the early days of the podcast, I would say really early in the days, we posted a whole bunch of stuff for FFW just to bring their names out.
They never got back to us.
They never got back to us, but they did get back to us this time. So there's that.
What changed? Why did they get back to us now?
He personally texted me, the guy who's running it.
Really?
Yes, he personally texted me. Because originally I was supposed to help him out with it, but it kind of got crazy and busy with school and stuff like that. Which, by the way, graduate.
Congrats.
Finally. Don't need to worry about that anymore. So, now
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah, so far it's not fun. But, yeah, we're planning to go to an indie show. It's $15, so if any of you guys are in the Long Island or New York area and wants to come out to Long Island for a Saturday night to watch some wrestling, they're crowning their first ever FFW heavyweight champion, and the Monster Abyss is going to be there. It's going to be fun. And hopefully we'll get an interview from the main guy who's running it, Mike Magnum.
Let's hope we get an interview with this guy, because you've been hyping him up for years, and I still haven't met him. So... You know, and I won't bring that up with him.
No.
I'll try and be respectful.
We are going to be respectful gentlemen.
No respectful gentlemen. I'll just show some respect.
Anyway.
Unless if he listens to this, which, yo, we need an interview. You owe us.
Shut up.
We made a freaking commercial for this guy.
Hey, relax. I guarantee you that none of them who listened to that commercial ever went to the show and because of us. So let's calm ourselves.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, let's get into this past, I guess, beginning of the month, because a lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Not on the Raw and SmackDown side, but we got to cover some of that stuff anyways. 3 things I feel like we should talk about regarding Raw and SmackDown: Rusev, Becky, and women.
You're forgetting about one. You're forgetting a fourth thing, and it's a kind of a timely, sad one. Over this past over the holiday break, we lost another one. We lost another great Hall of Famer, a great legend in Mean Gene Okerlund.
What a great way to start the year.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's throw a 10-bell salute up to Mean Gene right there.
Thank you, Mean Gene, for all the stuff that you've done for us.
Truly are the cream of the crop right there. Literally, no one can handle backstage interviews like Mean Gene and evoke the emotion. That's
out of every backstage person Mean Gene has been with, who was the best? I have a personal one.
You go first.
I have Randy Savage. I feel like him and Savage were just the best. Like,
I'm gonna go with Randy Savage too, but you can't mention Mean Gene without mentioning Hulk because they were literally the dream team.
well, yeah, I mean, everyone knows. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene, because of Hulk Hogan, and it's probably one of the most synonymous lines in '80s wrestling that carried into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, you talk to any older wrestling fan who grew up during the '80s as a kid and even a teenager.
They knew that line.
They knew that line. That was the quintessential line of '80s wrestling.
Yeah. And Mean Gene was always good. He was always fantastic. Backstage.
He's a backstage interviewer.
Wasn't he a commentator at one point?
Yeah, he commentated, I think, with Bobby. I know that he and Bobby did what was it? It was one of the WrestleManias. I forget which one.
Okay, I think I remember.
It was one of the earlier ones. I think it was like WrestleMania 2000 or something like that.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah, because they brought home like a whole bunch of legends.
Or WrestleMania 20 or 2000, one of the two. Or it could have been 15.
Could have been. I don't think it was 15. I think it was.
Oh, because they were WCW at the time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of WCW, another great person he talked to during his WCW times was Ric Flair. Yes. The crazy Ric Flair promo that I think everyone knows when he basically stripped down to his underwear is probably one of the craziest moments I think Mean Gene's ever been with. So
Gene was... I think he had no idea what was going on.
No,
I think he was just given, like, here, just ask him this.
I disagree. I feel like he knew way more. Because there's this one promo with him and Savage where he just made Savage keep twirling around over and over. I don't know if you ever saw that. But there's one of those where he just kept making him just go twirl around and around. He's like, do it again, Savage. And then, like, one of the last times Savage just looks at him like, are you messing with me?
Well, yeah, I think...
Because he knew what he was doing.
I think he knew what he was doing, but I don't think he ever got a heads up. And I think that was the fantastic part of the 80s, and Gene personified that. He was just given a bullet point. Talk about this. And then he went with it.
Yeah, no one, even to the modern day, has ever come close to Mean Gene when it comes to that.
Like, you've had announcers that came on par with someone like Jim Ross, Gorilla Monsoon,
Bobby Heenan.
You know, I would put up Tony Schiavone up there. I would throw up the Professor, Michael Tenay. I loved Michael Tenay.
Yeah, I liked Mike Tenay too.
Corey Graves was on his way, but now he's like...
I feel like he's kind of gotten stale.
Mauro Ranallo, Paul Heyman. Like, you can always...
Sir Alfred Hayes.
Yeah. So you could put all of those commentators in the same ring. Jerry the King Lawler, throw his hat in there. There's only one.
Mean Gene.
Yeah, and that's what separates him from anyone else. No one could touch him on this job.
And we saw him. At Raw 25. His very last WWE appearance was Raw 25. He interviewed AJ Styles.
Yes.
Styles did the Mean Gene thing because he's also a mark.
Yeah, and a WWE champion.
And it was nice to give him that one moment. By what I was reading online from a whole bunch of sources, it looked like he wasn't doing well, health-wise.
Yeah.
So
that's what I heard. I heard he was really getting bad. 17. We were off by 1. It was the gimmick battle royal.
Yeah, I knew it was something.
Yeah, it was around that time. Because, like, that also makes sense, too. Because that was when right around when WCW closed its doors. So they probably got him back along with Bobby the Brain.
But, just, I guess we could start talking about the Hogan stuff that happened on Raw, kind of leading into it. I mean, did you watch it?
I didn't want to. I don't like Hogan.
That's a fair point. Me and my girlfriend, we actually watched it
I heard
together
about
live.
that. You guys,
It was
this is like
good.
the first time you guys really sat down and watched a live Raw, right?
It's not the first time, but it's been the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. All right. Hold on. While you talk about the Hogan stuff, I'm gonna bring up some stuff that Rena, his girlfriend, said.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get into that. So Hogan comes out, and it's quintessential like regular Hogan getting the glory back, and to me it was found distasteful. But what he said about Mean Gene was actually probably the nicest thing. I'd never heard. This is kind of like similar to what he was talking about with Andre. He rarely put himself over. He put a lot of people over when he was talking. He was talking about Savage. He was talking about shit.
Are you talking about the Andre documentary or the Raw segment?
The Raw segment.
Okay.
Segment. He was talking about Savage. He was talking about
I'm assuming
Bobby Brain. He was talking
Flair?
about not Flair. He was talking to.
Of course, not Flair.
No.
Put over everyone but Flair.
No. He was talking about Mr. Perfect. He talked about how great wrestlers that they were, and that he was like commentating side by side with Bobby against like a tag team match between Savage and shit. I can't remember. Fuck. It was Savage and someone else versus, I believe, the Million. No. Fuck. I don't remember.
What, IRS?
No, it wasn't IRS. No. I forgot.
Flair and Perfect? No,
it was with deceased wrestlers. I think it was Piper and Perfect and Savage and
Andre?
maybe Andre. I don't remember. I wish I did though. But he put them over. It was really emotional, and you kind of saw like Hogan got like into it. I don't know if that was like. I do believe it was honest though. I feel like it was an honest, emotional thing for Hogan to do.
Yeah.
I'm still. If me personally, I'm pretty sure I could speak for my girlfriend at this point, that we were both kind of like iffy at like seeing Hogan on television, like an actual live televised thing, not like a Saudi Arabia thing, which I still refuse to watch. But it felt weird. I don't know. I felt like it's actually the perfect role for Hogan, but considering it all like, that it's Hogan, I don't know. It's still kind of distasteful. I don't know. It was still nice that he put Mean Gene over. He did like the last, let me tell you something, Mean Gene, one last time, and it was really nice. WWE made like a nice video package for Mean Gene, and when we're done talking about it, there's this one line that I pre-recorded that I'll share after we're done talking about Mean Gene. But you wanted to bring something up?
Well, there's just one thing that you guys brought up, that Hogan had a blonde wig on.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put this out into the world correctly. From what we saw on our nice television, everything looked, more, I don't know, gray for Hogan, like in a classy way. Nothing bad. I'm not gonna say anything particularly about how he looked or anything, but like his hair though on the back end, where like he normally like wraps around the headband, and he has like the blonde locks usually come out. It didn't match what was in the front. Like it looked fake. It looked a lot fake. It's possible he dyed it, but it looked a lot fake.
He needed his dress blondes for Mean Gene.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So.
Oh, man. But it was interesting. I don't know if he got it shorter like his old NWO days stuff, and then he just put on the blonde just to I don't know. I didn't read up on it. I'm not putting out that he did wear a wig. I'm just, from what we saw, the back end of it looked really fake. That's all I need to say about that. All right, and then like I said before we move on to the next thing, we got one last word from Mean Gene himself.
If one day I'm called up to the big house, if I'm called, they'll have a funeral. I want you to bury me face down, and then all of my critics can kiss my ass.
God fucking damn it, Mean Gene. God damn it.
He was great. I loved Mean Gene.
Who criticized that guy? I'm gonna punch him in the face.
It's probably like different. I don't know. I feel like it was probably wrestlers who didn't agree with, they wanted to keep it old school like him and Mean Gene probably did. Oh. And then the newer guys who wanted to change things. So maybe like Brett. I don't know. I have to really look into it. I really don't have the time or the real desire to go into it, but I wouldn't run past me that there was probably some beef between them and like the new generation of wrestlers at the time. That's all I need to say on that.
All right.
Yeah, do you want to go into the recaps?
All right.
The full recaps?
Yeah, the 3 recaps we really wanted to talk about in regards to Raw and SmackDown the past couple weeks, because, holiday editions, taped episodes, they don't really bring much to the table. But there was one thing that they brought to the table that was pretty freaking nice.
Wait, hold on. Let me bring it up.
It's Rusev Day.
Jimmy?
Yes, finally. Rusev gets what he actually deserves for once in his life.
A puppy.
He gets the United States Championship off of Shinsuke Nakamura.
And now we're getting a great feud out of it.
Exactly.
So
I don't understand why it had to take this long. It literally took, I'm going to say, 3.5 years? He actually lost the U.S. belt back in, 2015, roughly?
16.
16? Yeah, so it was almost 3 years.
Yeah, 2017 was
the beginnings of Rusev Day.
Yes. 2018 was Full Force, feud with Aiden. Last year was him fighting Cena. I remember he was like refusing to go on SmackDown Live until he got his WWE Championship opportunity against Randy Orton, which would have been better than fucking Jinder. And then they threw it on Jinder, and then Rusev was squalling around.
But then he got a championship opportunity against Styles, and that wasn't a bad match. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was 2018.
And then we had this dumb relationship feuds he can't get out of. I don't know why he's pigeonholed.
Because Lana's hot.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she still has
Rena,
heat
you
for...
hear that? He likes the white bitch.
Shut up. And also, he's still...
Can I say one more thing?
Fine.
Jimmy wants some of her Russian vodka, am I right?
No!
You're terrible.
I hope she listens. What?
No.
1705, Rena. 1705.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So Rusev's champion now.
Yeah, and they're going into a great feud because it's like Rusev's really blossoming, and Lana's helping him accentuate it too. And with Lana being injured because of Rusev, and Shinsuke turning it, this is some good shit. This is some good shit. I'm excited. I think that this is gonna be the end of Nakamura. Because I don't know where the fuck he's going after this. The only thing I could think of is him going to Raw. Because literally...
Or there's something else we could talk about. We'll talk about that after our break.
Well, in WWE, the only thing left he has is to go to Raw. Because he's been literally neutered on SmackDown.
Yeah, and they need some heavy hitters on Raw. Raw's pretty... I mean, it wasn't bad. This the live one wasn't bad. The taped one was garbage. Absolute garbage. But the live one wasn't bad.
I think the taped one... There was only one good thing about the taped one. I think we should get into it right now. The official announcement of the women's tag team titles. Fuck yes. We've been asking for this for so long, and we're getting it. I told y'all we were getting women's tag team.
We didn't disagree. I don't understand where this disagreement was. I think this disagreement was that we think Becky and Charlotte wasn't going to main event WrestleMania, but Roman's not in the picture, and then I think that's where the disagreement was for that, and you're confusing that with women's tag team.
It doesn't matter.
For some reason.
I don't know why you're bringing that up, because...
I mean, it's going to happen anyway, but,
women's
whatever.
tag titles, I'm excited for it, because this is definitely something that was needed. Look at all the tag teams you have. You got Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. You got the Riot Squad, Boston Hug Connection, the Samoan SWAT team.
It's pretty. I like their tag team. Boston Hug Connection is okay.
I think it makes sense. I just think it's a shit name.
I think it's a shit name too.
Riot Squad, Absolution, Iconics. You got a lot of tag teams in that, and that's not even including the ones you got down in NXT. You got what the hell's their names? Fuck. 4 horsewomen: Jessamine Duke and Mashira Shafi. I still can't pronounce your fucking name. Leave me alone. Fight me.
Mrs. Strong. Just Mrs. Strong.
No, because that's mean and uncalled for. But
that's the only way you can say it, though. At that
doesn't
point.
matter. But you got a lot of tag teams coming up, and that's the crazy part. That's the great part. You actually have enough for a full-fledged women's tag team division. And with the Fox deal, the brand split ending and stuff, I feel like, it's time to start merging titles. And I always bring that up. If you're not going to merge Intercontinental and U.S.,
Yeah, that's rid
of the Cruiserweight. You can only have 2 mid-card.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Cruiserweights later on.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Trust me.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right. But, unify the Universal and WWE Championship.
Agreed.
Or
just get rid of the Universal. Don't even have that be part of the legacy of the WWE Championship. I feel like that would just ruin it.
Yeah.
Just have the WWE Championship actually ascend to the main event spot like it's supposed to, instead of fourth down the card like it has been for the past 2 years.
I think 1 tag team championship for the men, 1 tag team championship for the women.
Agreed.
1 main title, 2 mid-card titles for the men. And I think that's fine. I don't think the Cruiserweight Championship is going any.
It might go down to NXT.
That's the best place for it. But the thing is, they also have to contend with the North American Championship and the NXT UK Championship.
Yeah, but I feel like because of where they are positioned as a brand, it fits better. Plus, there's also a UK show that they could always go on to as well.
Yeah, because there has been a lot of interaction between NXT UK, and the Cruiserweight division. So I feel like that the Cruiserweights are better off down there, and then they move up to the main roster. Something similar to Mustafa Ali.
His ascension
Party.
His ascension into the main roster is incredible.
Now he's going to the Royal Rumble, and people are picking him as a dark horse to go up against Daniel Bryan.
That would be cool. I would actually enjoy that. I would enjoy that. I don't think... Here's the thing. For the past couple of weeks since we've been off air, I don't believe they're going to do the Miz Daniel Bryan thing again.
No, they're not.
They're not. I feel
because
like
we're getting Shane the Miz possibly winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at the Royal Rumble. Who do they drop it to? Please be Sanity.
Hopefully it's Sanity. Or that they attempt to, and then they have a breakup, and then it's Shane versus the Miz. Which won't be bad, but it won't be like the best thing that the Miz could be doing.
I'm just not looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best. Yeah. It's not what Shane is. Anyway,
damn McMahon's. But yeah, the women's tag team titles, I think it's gonna be fantastic. I think they're also calling Trish and Lita back for it too, which I would be very hyped for, because I think it would end up being Trish and Lita versus Bayley and Sasha at Mania. I feel like that has to be the end result. As much as I'd love the Riot Squad to be the first champions, I feel like Sasha Bayley need it. And I feel like
they do, because they need some.
They
do. I don't know about Sasha so much, because I didn't expect this to happen on Raw, but I guess this kind of leads into the women's part of our discussion. Ronda Rousey calling out Sasha Banks out of nowhere.
Because she wants to destroy all the 4 horsewomen. That's where it's going to lead to at Survivor Series. 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, but like that whole segment between, like, I don't know, the 6 women that were there. It was about 6 or 5.
5. You got Bliss, Tamina, Nia, Sasha, and Ronda. But the thing is, Sasha's a placeholder.
She is a placeholder, but it's something we actually haven't seen.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty excited about it.
I think that the thing is, though, I think Sasha and Bayley can bring legitimacy to the women's tag team championships.
No, I agree.
They have the credentials with the casual and the hardcore audience, and it would be great to see. And I think we all like to see Sasha and Bayley have something to do, because they kind of I think, what was it, last year they did the breakup and that ended terribly because they didn't break up. So no, I'm right there with you. I think this is the best thing.
If this leads to a better breakup story, which it maybe will.
All tag teams lead to a breakup story.
So at least now there's actually like a real reason, instead of just like, I don't like you.
I'm excited for women's tag team wrestling. I've been a huge proponent of women's wrestling. The only reason why I don't have my Evolution shirt is because I'm pretty sure I'm washing it right now. Actually, no, I'm not washing it right now because I didn't start my laundry. Fuck.
You dirty, dirty boy. Anyway.
But to go into it, I'm excited for the women's tag team title picture. I'm excited to see how that plays out. The last thing I want to talk about regarding the women is something I brought up earlier. Becky Lynch. Y'all did not want her as the fucking Woman of the Year marquee. Meanwhile,
of 2018, she's automatically getting the 2019 one, so it doesn't matter.
But she got all the other awards from throughout news outlets. CBS named her the #1 sports athlete of the year. Like, there was a whole bunch of accolades with Becky Lynch that happened after the podcast. So fuck all of you. Everyone else agrees with me. You minority fucks.
Well, it's not a minority if the majority on this podcast disagree with you.
Nah, because everyone in the world.
But she squandered the first half of 2018, and the only reason Charlotte got half of
Becky Lynch named PWI Women of the Year for 2018.
Okay, I'm not gonna hate on PWI because I like that.
Bitch.
Outlet. I like that outlet.
Bitch.
Observer, on the other hand, they can go fuck themselves.
Oh yeah, they picked Ronda, right? Hold on. CBS Sports, Wrestler of the Year. CBS Sports, Best Moment of the Year 2018, attacking Ronda Rousey. WWE Match of the Year versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair, TLC. I can kind of agree with that one. Women of the Year in 2018. Wrestling
Observer. Fuck Wrestling Observer.
Well, that one, they're actually right with that one. Worst feud of the year, PCB versus Bad versus Bella in 2015. Yeah.
Yeah, let's yeah, okay.
But like, you see what, and like WWE even voted like best moment of Raw was
because
Becky Lynch
they
invaded.
They hyped on a train that is going to lead into 2019. Obviously, she's going to be the biggest star in 2019.
And you could see that because she literally.
Yeah, she literally took the last 4 months of 2018 and just took it for one hell of a joyride through a glass door.
Those 4 months were like better than entire women's careers. Superstars, wrestlers in general. Some of them, yeah. Like, she literally made 2018 her year. Like, she took it by the balls and then ripped it off and shoved it down John Cena's throat, which is what she did to John Cena on fucking SmackDown.
Oh my god.
The fact that Becky Lynch is literally beating on John Cena.
To be fair, let's quickly talk about that for 1 second. Kind of deserved, and like had it coming, just because he's John Cena and just because he looks really stupid with the fucking JBL haircut. I swear to God, looking at that man,
he looks like JBL.
Looks exactly like JBL. It's really scary.
I think it's just funny though because he called it out. He's just like, you know what? Someone's gonna come out here, call me a part-timer, make fun of my stupid hair, call me out for like with Nikki Bella. Go ahead, I dare any man to do it. Becky Lynch, oh, you are fucked.
Oh my god, fucked. I love Becky.
Yo, Becky is
boss. Becky is bae. Becky is the man.
Yes, Becky is the fucking man. And the fact that she literally threw Cena over the top rope just so this way she can get the victory and just says fuck you pretty much. Fucking love Becky. She's going to go up against Asuka. I think Ronda's going to cost her the title. And then a lot of people are saying it's going to be, I think Jared brought it up at the last podcast, Luger Bret Hart situation where they both get eliminated. You know, that might be the plan. I really hope not. I hope Becky eliminates Charlotte and then she's in the main event. And then
I don't know. It's hard to say because technically both Charlotte and Becky have a pretty legitimate claim against Ronda. So it's hard to say. I think Becky has it more. I don't disagree with that. I think that
Becky never even had the fucking match, and she literally broke Ronda's arm, got punched in the face, and continued to beat up on Ronda. Like, what did Charlotte do?
I think it should be Becky. I don't know. WWE has a weird thing of peg-holing their supposed person into main things. That's why we get that triple threat for Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Batista, when that should have just been Daniel Bryan and whoever was going to be champion.
I think it should have been Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton.
Yeah, it should have been just those two, but it didn't. Batista was the guy that they wanted, so that's what happened. I see that happening more than just Becky and Ronda. Who knows? I could be wrong, and I really hope I'm wrong because I think that our singles match for that belt would actually be really good.
I think the only reason why I think they're going to save Charlotte and Ronda for another feud as well, to possibly SummerSlam, because I think they're going to feud over the SmackDown Women's. I don't know. It all depends on if they're going to unify the belts. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Because I think Asuka needs a legitimate opponent, and if it's not going to be a multi-man, it has to be Charlotte.
I think it should be Charlotte against Asuka again, and have Asuka go over.
At least on the SmackDown roster. You know. Have Asuka avenge her biggest loss.
Exactly. I think that's the better story to tell at Mania. I think I agree with you. I think that's the better story to tell.
You know, But yeah, I think Becky is really riding high in this momentum, and it does not look like anything can stop her. Not even a fucking injury.
No, no. I'm impressed by how much she literally took, because it kind of goes against what almost every wrestling fan is kind of afraid of when it talks about like a wrestler. Like they can't, every time they kind of get it, it's management won't give back, and it seems like it's not happening this time.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Becky Lynch was at Money in the Bank. She was there for more time than Charlotte. I remember that because we were all complaining because we wanted Becky to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
So we're switching it. Becky Lynch, Women of the Year.
No, fuck that. You have to majority rule. We'll wait until all four of us are here.
I will continue to make the case for Becky.
I know you will. I know you will.
Becky needs a pop vinyl.
Let's talk about one last WWE related topic. Also not a good one. It kind of, and then also a good one, I guess you could say at the same time.
What are we going into the UK stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about the UK stuff.
So let's go into the good stuff first. So WWE, I know they did announce plans for global performance centers. They
officially opened it up, I believe, a couple days ago. The UK Performance Center,
which is huge.
It is pretty huge.
And something that I also want to touch upon with NXT UK, tying into the Performance Center, because one, they got the Performance Center. They have their tapings now. They have their show, NXT TakeOver. It's going to happen tonight. The recording of the podcast.
Yeah, January 12th.
We are your Saturday morning cartoon, folks. So they're going to have the first show. And depending on how the show goes, this show needs to do well.
I don't doubt
it.
I believe it will end up being
I don't know exactly what's on the card, except for Joe Coffey versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship, and Ripley versus Storm for the NXT UK Women's. The big thing that I wanted to talk about is Worlds Collide. Not sure if you heard about this.
No, I have not.
All right. So type in Worlds Collide on for WWE. They just patented it, and it looks like there's gonna be an 8-person tournament between NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. So, and I think that's going to be happening into WrestleMania weekend.
Let me look. Here's the official one from WWE website.
Yes.
So NXT 205 Live, NXT UK Superstars will battle in the first ever WWE Worlds Collide tournament at Royal Rumble Access.
Oh, there it is, Royal Rumble Access.
It'll be brand versus brand dream matches. And they put people on the card, but there's no specific matches. So from NXT, you have Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Dominic Dijak.
Donovan.
It's Donovan Dijak, but it's WWE's name for him. I can't even pronounce the last name. Dijakovic.
Oh.
Dijakovic.
Oh. Donovan Dijakovic.
That's Donovan Dijak for those indie marks. Yeah. Keith Lee and Otis Dozovic.
Dozovic, yes.
Okay. From NXT UK, you have Mark Andrews, also known as Mandrews, Tyler Bate, which I fucking love Tyler Bate right now. I will talk about that in a second.
Go ahead.
Travis Banks, who's amazing.
Is he the one with the elbow into the knee?
Yes.
All right. That's the only reason why I know him, because I'm like, that is literally the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Jordan Devlin, who's off-brand Finn Balor.
Fucking hate that guy.
And Zach Gibson, who's the bald-headed guy.
Yeah.
The third English bald-headed man in WWE.
Danny Burch.
And Oney Lorcan.
He's American, you fuck.
I didn't say British. I just said third bald man in NXT.
Oh, I thought you said third.
No, my apologies if that's what.
I don't know.
Okay, and then only 4, but there's supposed to be 5, and the other person hasn't been named yet. Interesting. So it's for 205 Live is Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and TJP.
See, I can see this Brands Collide being a really cool thing. Worlds Collide, something similar to War of the Worlds that ROH and New Japan have. I think it's huge for them to have this. And then you can easily see this. I want to see this for fucking War Games.
Yeah,
I want to see brand warfare at War Games.
I do too. Yeah,
And
I
now
do
that
too.
they have all those brands, and if 205 Live, because 205 Live did move to Wednesday nights, if they move 205 Live to the Full Sail Center, Full Sail University, I could easily see it happening.
All right, I like it. I like it a lot.
I would be very excited. So that was just some good news I wanted to throw up on the table.
All right. I do have the card for NXT UK for
Yeah.
Blackpool, if anyone's interested.
Not really, but go on.
All right. So we have Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin in a singles match.
Travis Banks is the elbow guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis in a no DQ match.
I heard of Dave Mastiff.
Dave Mastiff is huge. He's intimidating. He's like a Killian Dane type figure.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard he's like a really big dude.
He's awesome. I love
You're
Dave
the one that
Mastiff.
said he was the next Vader, right?
Yeah, he's pretty close. He's
Okay.
pretty close.
And what's the poor soul that's versing him?
Eddie Dennis. I don't know who that is.
No one's gonna know after tonight.
Sorry, Dennis. We have Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate versus Zach Gibson and James Drake. James Drake, I think, was in the first UK tournament. I think he was. Was
he the black guy?
I don't remember.
Wasn't there a black guy?
Yeah, there was. I don't remember. I might have been James Drake. I don't remember. Though.
I don't remember him either. But
Who knows? It might be a white guy. I don't remember though. But it's gonna be a squash. Yeah. But then you'll probably see Zach Gibson beat the shit out of James Drake, which is gonna be pretty fun to watch. Then you have for the WWE UK Championship, Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey. I fear for Pete Dunne. Joe Coffey's amazing.
Yeah, you were hyping him up from
Joe,
before, right?
Yeah, for the second one, Joe Coffey's amazing.
Wasn't Joe Coffey the guy that Pete Dunne beat in the semifinals for the first UK tournament?
I believe so.
Right? Because I think I remember that match, and I remember Michael Cole was hyping up Joe Coffey hard.
Joe Coffey is amazing. He is very amazing.
Joe Coffey.
Plus he does like an Iron Man gimmick in the Indies. So like I really.
All right, so it's not Coffee.
Coffey.
God damn it, Joe Coffey.
He's Scottish.
Whatever. Hold on, I'm just looking up see if I'm right with this because I think they did verse.
They did verse. I know that.
All right, so this is 2018. Here we go. No, you can continue.
Okay, and then the very last match, which I guess will lead into our sad part of the UK topic, is Rhea Ripley versus Rhea Ripley. My apologies. Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship.
Before we go into that, he did not verse Joe Coffey.
I didn't. All right.
He was in the 2018 one, but not the 2017 one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. He was in the 2018 one. Not. Yeah.
Roy Johnson, Sam Gradwell, Mark Andrews. But yeah, so Toni Storm, she's been in the news as of late for some pretty crazy stuff.
Some pretty bullshit, scummy stuff, I have to say. Not like her doing it, just what happened to her. Yeah. Some asshole found nudes of her.
Nude. And
posted them online. And she was so distraught from it that she got rid of all of her social media and just couldn't handle it. And that really sucks. She's supposed to be basically the real face, Rhea Ripley, of the NXT brand.
Yeah.
And now she can't even share that with people except for on, whatever access television-wise that they're using.
I think...
And honestly, it's not fair. I think... Because she doesn't deserve that. She was amazing in the women's tournament. Both women's tournaments. She was amazing in the Battle Royal, the first women's Battle Royal, and during during WrestleMania last year. She won this tournament. She was at Evolution. She was one of the dark horses that not everyone thought was either going to win that match or take the show, at least be talked about during Evolution so highly. And some asshole posted this stuff about her, and she's really distraught over it. It was so bad that Paige had to console her about it. And that was another woman who had nudes leaked about her, too.
She had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Paige had a lot, and it was a lot worse than Toni. But it's still, you had to get Paige to come in and console Toni about it. And that really sucks.
But the thing is, there was a lot of women over the past... I know she was Paige was a victim, Charlotte was a victim, and now Toni.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, Charlotte, she did a different way, and she was just like, you know what? If we're going to show You know, if we're gonna show
Yeah,
my makeup.
she did a body positive
Yeah.
photo shoot with, I think, ESPN or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take it into my own hands. Paige had it the worst.
Paige did feel like had it the worst.
Tony,
I think
she can bounce back from it.
she can, and I think hopefully winning this belt will hopefully progress into that. But
Yeah.
like, I can't even imagine what she's going through. It really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And then one thing you wanted to bring up, which I'm okay with bringing up. All right, so Mae Young Classic competitor Priscilla Kelly used a fucking bloody tampon and shoved it down a woman's throat.
Yeah, this was at a show during our time off, and a lot of people. It's bringing up controversy whether it was like in taste or not, and it's kind of like
Why the fuck did you use the word taste?
What was I supposed to use? What word am I supposed to use?
If people enjoyed it or not.
Which is their taste.
Dude.
Taste in wrestling. I realize the disgustingness of it, but get your head out of the gutter, you disgusting man.
Dude, this whole segment was in the fucking gutter.
I mean, I guess we should really
All
talk
right.
about it. Do you think that it was within the parameters of what wrestling should be using, I guess?
All right. So I'm old school.
Okay, old school.
I'm old school. I feel like people should be fighting over belts, not women. I feel like people should be fighting over title shots, not, you know, someone threw a salad in my face calling me you know what I mean? I believe in, like, old school. These are athletes. These are competitors. These are wrestlers. It's not a fucking drama. It's not TV. And, you know, it's good for shock value. It's good to get your name in the headline. I will admit that. But the headlines that you get, the thing is, if you do shit like that, I'm gonna be honest, promoters may not want you. They may not want that kind of publicity. You know, it's one thing if you're gonna do something like Joey Ryan.
Well, you can't say that it's one thing to show Joey Ryan who uses his penis, and comes out to penis druids, and then kind of criticize Priscilla for taking out a bloody tampon. I'm
criticizing it in this way, in that if he was to do stuff like that, you know, that's...
Would you prefer that she had tampon druids? Is that what you're saying?
I think that would have been along the same line. That's a safer option. That's safer.
Okay.
That's safer. Her literally pulling out that bloody... from, you know, it's not like brass knucks. It's something, you know, disgusting, unhygienic. You know, and you're shoving it down someone's... You know what I mean? That's kind of like...
I understand your criticism about it. I think I do. I feel like
there should be no place for this in wrestling. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that at all. But if you're going to do something like that, be safer with it. Joey Ryan has been able to make a career out of doing stuff like this all the time, but safer. I think she crossed the line that I don't even think Joey would do. Do you think Joey would take a used condom and shove it down someone's throat?
Probably not, no.
That's my point.
Well, I'm going to look up if it was actually a real bloody tampon or not.
But
I don't think it was.
I don't think it matters.
I think it does. If it was a clean one, would it have mattered?
No, it was bloody.
All right,
that's the big thing. But I think that's my opinion. I don't think there should be any place for this in wrestling. Yo, beat the fuck out of her. But if you're going to like shove a bloody, that's just like again, you know, $1 Million Man, he shoved money down the throat. You know, that's, you know, there's certain lines I don't think you should cross, and especially with women's wrestling being as the proponent as it is. You know, and her having the opportunities. This could damage her opportunities. And that's the big thing. You know, she has her name in there, but is the name a good name, bad name? You know, and it's creating a lot of attention that, you know, someone young and promising may not want.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm conflicted in the sense that, like, I understand, like, because wrestling is an art form, whether you agree with that saying or not. It's a reason why it's called sports entertainment in WWE. But, I don't know. I feel that it was slightly over-exaggerated. It didn't really need to be that way. But I understand why she did the spot. I get it.
Yeah.
I think because it's like a woman kind of thing, and...
But a lot of people were going up against it hard.
Yeah, a lot of people, and then there's like people who are like defending her.
I think that spot really shouldn't have a place in wrestling. Like that's crossing a line. really, like...
I mean, is there anything that was close to that?
Anything close?
Yeah. Those of you who... Just a quick reminder of who Priscilla Kelly was. She was a member... She was an entrant of the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
Just to let those people be reminded of that.
Was there ever a spot like that?
I don't know. Is there anything that was close to that?
The only thing I could think of that would be something similar to what she did in a spot, and I'm gonna use it for a male. The only thing that would be similar would be a male getting a used condom and shoving it down someone's throat. That is literally the only other equivalent I can think of.
Alright.
You know, again, do a ballplex, do a fucking vagplex. That stuff, you know what? Throw a little comedy in there. I'm not the hugest fan of it, but you know what? There should be some parameters in wrestling that no one should cross. You know, and this is the guy, you know, granted, I've been advocating, like, if you're going to use a wrestling death in a storyline, if you're going to use it, make sure the person whose family died, make sure they get the win. I believe there should be parameters and unspoken rules that should be followed in wrestling. You know, traditions are traditions. Some should be broken. Not every big guy is a huge star. You know, give it to the little guy as well. But to throw a bloody tampon, and even if they both agreed, I feel like that's a little...
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm split. I'm more in the middle. Like, I understand it's disgusting and crude, but at the same time, like, that's...
You know what would have made the spot better?
Like that's but it's weird. Like, that's something I would actually expect. I don't know. I find it weird. It's kind of similar to the Joey Ryan kind of biz to it.
It's similar and it's not.
Yes, I understand that it's not. I feel like I understand the dehumanizing effect of it because you're taking something that's actually really, like, that has something bad that even women who go through something like that say that you're never supposed to touch it or put it anywhere near your mouth or anything like that when it happens, and it's very harmful to the body. I get that. I don't know. I'm still very in the middle about it. I really don't have like a true opinion. Like, I see it as a spot, and it's like it's a pretty gross spot for that. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. I don't think anyone's saying that it's not a gross spot.
Yeah.
Is it within taste of wrestling though? Like, with what we're living through now, I don't know. I feel like it can be. Joey Ryan's a perfect example of why it's okay, but at the same time, like,
Joey Ryan has his fair share of critics.
He has his fair share of critics. I feel like a lot of them is unjustified. Like, a lot of, from Jim Cornette especially. I feel like it's not justified for Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette is like a whole nother scenario.
Yeah.
He's a traditionalist like myself, but not...
He's a traditionalist and will never budge on anything that's new, exciting, and that relates to anything of a generation that comes after him. And that's why I think I'm upset about Jim Cornette, if anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And there's also stuff like Road Dogg said. Road Dogg said it was within bad taste as well. But, like, he's also one to fucking talk. Like, he used to, you know, do the DX salute. Do you remember that? When he would show his bare ass to a crowd filled with children. Like, that's fucking okay. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, don't be so sanctimonious about this.
Hold on. I know that there was a tweet that Joey Ryan...
Yeah, because he was defending Priscilla, but...
I don't know if he was defending. That's what I'm trying to...
I think he was, but not, like, putting his arm around her like, I will defend her tooth and nail to it. I feel like it was like, okay, you need to step away, Jim Cornette, Road Dogg, and all these older guys. Like, calm down. He was more of like a mediator in that sense.
I think with Joey Ryan, that's what, again, I'm trying to find the tweet. Hold on. Joey Ryan tweet. Because Joey Ryan said something, and the way he said it really makes me consider whether or not he was supporting it or not. Hold on. It's on Priscilla Kelly. Let me look that up. Because on Priscilla... There you go. Priscilla Kelly. Yeah. So Daily DDT. Alright. Cage Side Seats. Here we go. Road Dogg. Come on. Goddamn Wi-Fi.
That's alright. I'm looking for it as well.
Yeah, look for it because I just wanted to read the tweet on that because I think that the way he said it, it's like he's not actively defending her, but he's like saying, well, he's defending her and saying that everyone's entitled to it. But I think he was also saying it like it was a little too much.
All right, hold on, I'm looking.
Like he respects it, but I don't think he would do something like that.
I have to go through all of it because there's like a whole bunch of tweets from literally a couple days ago. So.
No, you could literally just type in Joey Ryan, Priscilla Kelly, and there should be tweets that pop up. I don't know. I think that was a little too much. I think let's go to a break and then we'll go to we'll read the tweet afterwards and we'll leave it up to the viewers what they think.
All right.
WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget. I'm talking about the former Intercontinental Champion of the world, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Means nothing.
Nothing
means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
More, I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, has got more to offer than President Jack Tunney thinks that I got. Yeah, I know. Let me tell you something right now. Cards stacked against the Macho Man Randy Savage in WrestleMania 3. Hey, let me say it, yeah. Let me say it out loud. And let me point to the president of the World Wrestling Federation. The Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah. I am the cream in the World Wrestling Federation.
Wait a minute,
and there is no doubt about it, yeah. You mean Gene Okerlund. You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Oh, wait a minute, though, Randy. I've got to ask you very seriously. Do you blame Mr. Jack Tunney, the distinguished president of the World Wrestling Federation, for Ricky Steamboat being the Intercontinental Champion today?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Outside interference, yeah. In my moment of glory. Yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare. And I am the cream. And now, not only the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt must fall, but the World Heavyweight Championship belt. Because Hulk Hogan, yeah, I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are, yeah. And I'm talking everyone in the World Wrestling Federation. And I'm even talking to President Jack Tunney, yeah. I'm on my way. And nothing is gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop me.
You know, just out of curiosity, Randy, and I certainly don't want to diminish your tremendous God-given talents, but I'm very curious. I haven't seen Elizabeth lately.
Yeah, she's on the outside of the ring. Does she interfere in matches? Yeah. Nothing. Zero. Yeah. Pure athlete. Yeah. And I've been, maligned from the top to the bottom. And because they can't handle the Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop, nobody does it better.
And we're back. So I found the tweets. So someone had tweeted Joey Ryan about that situation, and this was his initial response. I would never censor anyone's artistic creativity. To each their own. The telltale sign will be if it connects with an audience. If it finds an audience, then it can really be considered wrong. If it doesn't, then I'll die. You can't stop change. Trying it will only make you bitter. Then he responds to Road Dogg's reason behind it. They're saying that it's about dignity and personal pride. She obviously has none, which I think that's where a lot of people get angry at for Road Dogg, and that one I can go, yeah, Road Dogg's in the wrong about.
It's
talking
not...
about her
personal pride.
Yeah, like she's talking about her personally, and that's not really fair to say that.
Yeah, because
that was just a spot creatively. It didn't hit with a lot of people and it hit with some people.
Yeah, it's like you could comment saying like I didn't like the spot.
So and this was Joey Ryan's response, which we both forgot about this.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best one. And it was, would you say that same thing about Mae Young? Or is period blood somehow worse than a placenta? Because they showed that shit on TV. Honest question. So that's honestly the best response that anyone could give in that situation. Yeah. So good for Joey Ryan.
Yeah. I agree that the placenta was also bad. I'll throw that one out there too. Am I happy they made a reference to it like so many years later, like a grown-up hand? Yeah, I thought that was freaking hilarious. They referenced a bad spot and they turned it funny. Because like they should, oh look, this is my son all grown up and it's a hand. And I'm like, you cheated on Mark Henry. That hand is all white. But like, I can agree with Joey Ryan. She could do whatever she wants. I think that there should be parameters in wrestling. I don't know. I think that,
It didn't connect to you. I think what Joey Ryan said in his initial response to it was that it didn't connect to you, so you won't find it. If you actively pursue it, you're going to end up being bitter about it, just like Cornette and Road Dogg are being.
Yeah.
Because Road Dogg's comment on it was pretty
bad.
It was bad.
Because she's also a great wrestler too. So I don't know. I guess and I thought the Mae Young Classic would put her over, but I think this is gonna define a moment in her career.
I mean, if they can somehow forgive Hulk Hogan for saying racial slurs on a sex tape that happened a couple decades ago, I'm pretty sure they could find the heart to forgive Priscilla for a tampon spot in a sanctioned WWE match that was planned beforehand.
This was sanctioned?
It was a match. It
By
was
WWE?
No, it wasn't a WWE
You just
sanction.
said WWE
No. I'm saying that WWE can find a way to forgive her just like they did for Hogan in the same sense. That's what I meant.
Different, though. That's the thing.
You can't say that, though. You can't say that it was different.
I'm saying it because why would they forgive someone that they never signed?
I mean, they put her on television. If she does want to, which
they also
by
put
all
James
indication,
Ellsworth on television.
Ugh. Yeah, they did.
They put Enzo Amore on television.
Yeah, they did.
Chris Benoit.
Which is also kind of leads into the same point. Like, they could put Priscilla back on television.
They could. I'm just saying that this moment defines her, is going to be a defining point in her career.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very hard bump to get through. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that's the, that's the big thing. And that's what I'm worried about. I think the biggest thing that I'm worried about is that a rising star made a mistake.
I don't think it's gonna bluster anything as far as indies go.
I just
for most mainstream promotions that are trying to get,
Yeah. I don't want it to affect her chances to get into different companies. I don't want it to affect her chances of matches because I don't know if they would want the bad publicity. I don't know. I don't know that aspect. Maybe they want it because they want to see her. But if she keeps incorporating this could define it. It depends on how she goes from here. If she takes the negativity and continues to go in that direction, or she references it every once in a while. I don't know.
I think if she references it, it might be better in the sense that she can turn that into like a promo. I think that would be better. I think that might be the better course. I mean, we can't speak because we're not wrestlers. We have no idea. But
I think she has to turn it into a plus for herself in a way that'll target a majority of the audience. Because I don't know if a majority of the audience is for this. I think that she does have a lot to reconsider on how she's going to continue on with her career. If she's going to just go back to prior, or she's going to accept this and then try and turn it into something.
Well, I think she's still continuing to wrestle. I think it's not like her career ended because of this. It's just something that a lot of people are talking about, and it could...
I'm not saying her career is ending. I'm saying that it's either she goes back to how her career was prior to the spot and just ignore it entirely, or she acknowledges it and tries to work it into her character.
I mean, a whole bunch of wrestlers have done that, though. Well, we'll find out.
Well,
I think...
We're going to have to keep an eye on the situation.
Of course. All right. So now we get to talk about the big thing that happened during the new year.
Yes. So All Elite Wrestling was announced.
January 1st.
January 1st. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, were announced to be executive vice presidents. And the owner of All Elite Wrestling is the son of
the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Khan.
Yeah, so that's huge because they got financial backing right.
Well, they have a pretty solid source of financial backing. Now, granted, Ring of Honor and New Japan have the same thing. Ring of Honor has Sinclair Broadcasting, which is the largest national cable provider, cable broadcast station in America, and then New Japan has Mark Cuban as one of its investors. So.
Yeah, but I think the difference is with All Elite is that right off the bat, it's getting invested in.
Yeah.
It's getting a huge... It's already announced 2 shows. One is May 25th, I believe. May 25th, it's a Saturday, Double or Nothing, Las Vegas, Nevada.
At the MGM Grand
Casino.
Which is freaking huge. That's where they host, like, UFC fights and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty big.
That's a great follow-up to the Chicago All-In pay-per-view. And then they also have another one where they're going back to Jacksonville, which realistically could be in that fucking arena.
Yeah, it could. It honestly could.
And that's the scary part. They are coming right out of the gate from the momentum of All In. They released an amazing presser, which I watched in its entirety on YouTube, which thank God they released on YouTube. And they have a lot of financial backing, and that's the crazy part. Brandy Rhodes was announced as the chief brand officer.
Which is like dueling with Stephanie being WWE's chief brand officer, which I find hilarious.
And then there's a couple things I want to touch on that they're doing that WWE's not. That's really good. One, most of their the money that they're making from the Jacksonville show or a good amount of it will go to or like a percentage of the ticket sales will go to victims of gun violence.
Which is very different from what WWE does. WWE sticks to very like open peeling charities that are very mainline, no one really disagrees with, except for maybe how certain charities manage and operate.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Everyone has their criticism.
They literally took a stance against gun
They
violence.
literally took a really strong political stance on it. I'm actually pretty impressed by that.
And the second thing is that Brandy Rhodes said that all of the women and the men will be paid equally, depending on their spots. So if you're an entry-level woman will get the same pay as an entry-level man.
If you're a main eventing male, you'll be paid the same amount as a main eventing female.
Which is also huge because they threw that out right out of the gate too. They took a stance on gender equal pay. There's no sliding scale based on your gender.
So this is definitely, I think, what they described it as. It's a wrestling company for the fans,
Yes.
by fans. So I think that's a pretty strong statement. I do have all the members of the roster list if you're interested.
I actually know some of them.
I know.
So we got
I'm-
Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. First, let's go into this. Do you think Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Brandy, do you think they're going to be wrestling?
Yeah, I think they do.
Do you think they're going to be wrestling consistently?
Maybe not Brandy. I do think the Bucks might. I feel like the Bucks are really... I think they like that. Cody, I don't know. That one's a weird, iffy one. Maybe?
Cody's also recovering from a torn meniscus.
Well, yeah, torn meniscus doesn't mean he's not going to stop wrestling.
I
It just
know,
mean...
but
I don't know. Like,
but-
that one, to me, is like... That one could be like...
Would it be a
either
conflict
or.
of interest?
No, I don't think it would. I think... Well, because they need to have people who are, like, managing between wrestlers and, like, the money people. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they need to do. And to be honest, Cody Rhodes being the father of,
Dusty.
Dusty...
No, you mean the
and-
son.
The son of Dusty, that's what I mean. My apologies. Being put into, like, the position where he is, where
Yeah.
he's, like, I don't know exactly his full position, but if he's being, like, a liaison between wrestlers and money people and understanding, like, this is how we're going to get a TV deal, this is how we're going to get these wrestlers.
Which TV deal is looking like it's going to be in the works. I've heard TNT or TBS.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Yeah.
It's possible. If it does, then it's like, okay, now they're reigniting WCW versus WWE, which, whoa.
Well, let's be real here. Let's get into the roster of who they have. So they got Joey Janela.
We'll save the more important one way.
That's what
way
I'm doing.
last. Okay.
So we got Joey Janela, who is a huge hardcore star.
He had a match against another guy who's on their Hangman Page.
Yes, Hangman Page looks like to be the forefront of their All Elite Wrestling.
Which is good because he's an amazing wrestler.
We also were announced by this Chinese team, right? The Good Hearts.
Yeah, they have, which is also interesting. Yeah, they have. I have their names. I believe it's.
You don't have to say their names because
Okay,
I might.
but yeah, they have
butcher
a.
them.
But yeah, they hired. They signed a couple of Chinese wrestlers, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Which is almost the one step that WWE has done. They've tried doing that, and they kind of lost it. They haven't really said anything about their Chinese deal, but who knows? 2019 is going to be a long year, and this
Yeah.
is probably one of the first shots being fired.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Penelope Ford, who is the valet that was with Joey Janela during their match at All In.
I think, and then SoCal Uncensored.
Yes.
Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky, which is also huge. So they got a lot of in-ring talent.
They got some big hitters from Ring of Honor, so that was
Yeah.
pretty impressive right there. Some other guys I think from Japan that are not as well known. But there's two big names that they did get.
Yes. So the first one came out after Hangman Page announced his intention to be the All Elite Wrestling Champion. He was challenged by former WWE superstar, former Cruiserweight champion,
King of the Cruiserweights.
yes, Pac, who went by Neville in WWE. So Pac is now officially signed to All Elite Wrestling, which is fucking insane.
I like a lot.
I am so scared because that's gonna be insane.
That's gonna be one of the best matches this year.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Oh, and then MJP or whatever, MFP?
MJF.
MJF, yeah. I didn't like him. He was annoying.
Yeah, but they gotta have that one character.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, you got Pac, who is a huge signing because I thought he was gonna stay in Dragon Gate, but I know he wanted to make his debut on the Indies at Dragon Gate, but he was contacted for All In. So I think this was in the deal for a while. And the final name.
Ooh, the biggest name.
Like
to go into All Elite Wrestling.
The crazy
outside
part is,
of like the built WWE guys.
The crazy part is, you know, we've been hearing rumblings here and there, but watching the presser, you know, I already knew the information, but I watched the big guy. I don't know what his name was. That might have been Khan. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't.
But he was announced. You know, and then you just hear the music of Judas by Fozzy.
Wait, hold on.
Do you have it?
Hold on. No, I don't have it. But I will say that you know who just made it.
You know what? You just made the list.
That's right, Chris Jericho.
Y2J is signed to All Elite Wrestling.
Oh my God!
And the crazy part is he signed a 3-year deal.
Which means he really believes in this.
3-year deal. He can still do his New Japan stuff if he chooses to. He can also choose to do the cruise ship as well, because that's coming back in 2019. That's insane that they were able to get Chris Jericho, who is really well known among the casual fans. Hardcore fans, old school fans.
WWE fans, you know.
The fact
old WCW fans who, you know, watch and then stop watching WWE because they lost their wrestling show.
Chris Jericho is well on his way to becoming one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of wrestling.
Agreed.
Like
I would say eerily close to the Ric Flair of our generation.
The Ric Flair, Hogan.
like a natural Ric Flair, not the John Cena, who I would say is more of a Hulk Hogan figure, but you know, closer to Ric Flair in, you know, championship reigns, but Chris Jericho, man, being legitimately the closest thing that we have to a Ric Flair and just outside of WWE.
And I think Chris Jericho really brings legitimacy to this company. That's like, this is serious. And the fact is, apparently, Chris Jericho informed Vince McMahon prior, too.
Yeah, I did. I read about that.
Which is like, that's some good level of respect right there. Because he's just like, hey, I want this to work. This is what I want to do. I wanted you to hear about it from me. So the fact that Chris Jericho, but the thing is, they removed everything.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was so funny.
Alumni, all references of him. You know, they took him off the SmackDown Titan thing, the SmackDown opening. It's crazy, and I am super excited to see where Chris Jericho goes with this. You know, I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
And there's still some other rumored names too.
I think we could talk about the biggest rumored name that they could get is...
There's two, if I remember correctly, actually.
Well, the main one being Kenny Omega.
I wasn't even touching that right now.
Oh, okay.
So
we'll get into that later.
So I heard Jim Ross...
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Was considered, because I remember there was rumblings about it prior last year with Jim Ross and Chris Jericho starting their own wrestling company.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think that Jim Ross could be brought on board with this.
Yeah.
The second one is Goldberg.
Yes.
Goldberg was rumored to be a part of this. And also Billy Gunn was hired as a producer for the All Elite shows as well, which is insane. Between having Billy Gunn, and I don't know if they're going to have Goldberg as a manager, like a GM, like a commish. You know what I mean? Like an on-screen commish?
Maybe. Or like he's like an on-screen liaison to like the Khan family. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because he has connections with the Khan family. That's the crazy part. He knows the family. They're friends. So to have because I feel like that would be the best way to keep it in check in wrestling too. Because here's the thing, you're not going to be able to keep the kayfabe with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks because everyone knows they're the VPs. But like, storyline purposes, I don't know how that's gonna work. That's what's gonna worry me because I know there has been history with that stuff not working well.
Yeah, I understand.
But Goldberg being signed would also be huge too because he's on that same level of name recognition as Chris Jericho. And if they can get Jim Ross too,
yeah, it is pretty big. We should stay for the fact that this is still talk.
Yes.
So nothing concrete is set in stone yet.
But
except for Double or Nothing.
Yes, Double or Nothing and the Jacksonville show.
Those are the only ones. There's no precise TV deal. Who knows? They could go into streaming. They could have they could have a YouTube or Twitch thing going on. I don't really know.
I think but you did bring up
but Kenny, I brought up Kenny.
But let's talk about that at the end. Because there's one thing I wanted to just mention really quick. WWE signed Kushida.
Yes, they did.
And they're trying to poach everyone. They tried to poach Hangman Page. They tried to poach the Young Bucks and Cody. They already poached Kushida. But the biggest person on the table right now is Kenny Omega.
I did hear rumors that he turned down a WWE contract that was extremely lucrative.
Yes.
What was it? It was like $25 million for 5 years. That's
Brock Lesnar money.
That's Brock Lesnar money. That was money that CM Punk wished he had when he was WWE champion at the time.
I think
that's John Cena money. It's very close to John Cena money.
Yeah, I think Kenny has two options: All Elite Wrestling or WWE.
Because he conquered Japan. He's the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Was.
Tanahashi
beat him.
That was Wrestle Kingdom 13, which,
yeah.
But that also happened this past weekend. He conquered Japan. And quintessentially became the best gaijin wrestler in Japan.
Yeah, the best one in its history.
There's really nothing else to do. I think if he goes to WWE, I think that's like a signal that he's gonna be done with wrestling after WWE. After WWE, he's gonna be done.
I'm worried if he would go to WWE though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If he goes to WWE, then it's partial one signal that I'm thinking about quitting wrestling after I'm done with WWE.
I don't think Kenny Omega should go to WWE.
I don't think so either.
I think All Elite would be a much better place for him.
I think that it would be interesting to see if they can get good money for these wrestlers to wrestle, that they can have consistent storylines for it, and could rival for a quick startup to number 2 spot and actually bring real healthy competition back. Because if there's healthy competition back, then WWE is going to be better too.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I kind of want All Elite Wrestling to succeed, not just for WWE, just for wrestling in general. I just want All Elite to succeed.
Let's say if All Elite Wrestling does succeed, then that gives permission for Ring of Honor to do the same thing. They'll start selling out. I don't know if they will.
I think All Elite might take over Ring of Honor in New Japan.
Maybe.
I think it has much... I think the thing is, All Elite Wrestling has a much higher ceiling and potential than Ring of Honor in New Japan.
I disagree, because they sold out MSG as well.
Yeah, but All In did it first.
All In did it first at a show in Chicago. They sold out MSG. It's very different. There's an iconic arena in WWE's foothold in New York. That's still pretty big. I'm not disagreeing with you.
WWE is not threatened by Ring of Honor New Japan.
No, they're not. But
they're threatened by All Elite.
They're threatened by the prospect that All Elite could ascend bigger. But
yeah,
if let's say that All Elite does succeed, and the people who are running the shows for, the really big money people that are in New Japan and Ring of Honor, they open up their war chests, let's say, for that. I can definitely see that Ring of Honor could easily be number 2 again. There's no... Or even New Japan, for that matter. New Japan's still bringing in their footholds into getting into some U.S. territories.
But let's also look at it from another point of view. All Elite Wrestling, they became a threat to WWE on their own. And remember
that's true.
Remember when we talked about this on a couple of podcasts ago about the Bullet Club and how they're not even... Remember that whole conversation I had with you?
Yeah, we had a whole conversation that Bullet Club, if they opened up their own promotion outside of Ring of Honor and New Japan, and essentially this is it. It's not every Bullet Club member, but it's basically the creative minds between the Elite, which was the main driving force between when AJ Styles left to basically now.
Yeah.
Because Bullet Club right now is in the water.
I told you, that was the biggest thing holding them together. Ring of Honor, New Japan, they were trying hard to keep them because everyone recognizes their potential. And I said this last year, how big it would be. And WWE recognizes this as a threat. They did not allow a single person in with an All Elite Wrestling shirt to their show.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. They, that's the crazy part. They are going hard against Bullet Club because they recognize what this is. And it is a legitimate threat. The glass ceiling of Bullet Club is much higher. And it hasn't even started yet. No. And the potential's hard. They have the backing, they have the connections.
Yeah, but when you first start a company, that's how they usually goes. Unlike Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor, I think, or New Japan. They had shitty.
It took them years to get to where they are.
Yeah,
now.
but I'm not disagreeing with you on this because I do think that that ceiling is really high, and they do have a real potential of real competition, which I think. For 2019, that's basically what the whole conversation is going to be about. It's going to be about
All Elite versus WWE.
It's going to be about competition.
Yeah,
and I'm excited about it because it just means that the products are going to be better. And and it's also again challenging WWE. They look at all these wrestlers. We have 2 shows already planned.
Yeah,
we obviously aren't a true threat, but we are going to make a lot more headway in talking conversations, which will bring in more investors and more money into this.
I think that
do something to change the conversation.
I think WWE. I don't know where WWE is going to go with this. Ring of Honor, New Japan. The thing is, the only reason why they can succeed, in my personal opinion, is because they're working together. Because New Japan has all the talent. Ring of Honor has all the marketing. They have all, and that's the big thing that they're working off of. Because I think New Japan's roster is immensely more talented than Ring of Honor's wrestling capability, but Ring of Honor has so much better marketing than New Japan.
Yeah, when it comes to the U.S., yeah, I agree with that.
And that's where the money is the United States with wrestling.
If you want to start a new wrestling company and you want to make it, big, that's not in the U.K. or anything like that or Japan.
U.S.
then,
is
the U.S.
biggest
is the
market.
is the biggest one. There's no Canadian ones that's huge. Mexico has CML and AAA, but those are the only 2.
New Japan has New Japan, but they still.
But everyone knows New Japan though.
Yeah.
Even if they don't really watch it or they heard the name New Japan Pro Wrestling before.
But UK has competition now because of NXT UK. WWE's picking them up.
Yeah, so that market is gonna be. It's going to be saturated. It's going to be tough to really go into that. But it's a challenge, and that's something that they need to...
Yeah. I think All Elite has the biggest threshold because not only that, Cody Rhodes said it best. Ring of Honor and New Japan, they're piggybacking off of WrestleMania with MSG. Now, I know we said it previously that they probably could sell out the show, but... I'm not so sure if they would sell it out otherwise. Because I think everyone bought those tickets because they figured the Young Bucks would be on there. Cody Rhodes, the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega.
Well, Bullet Club could still be there. It's just not. It doesn't.
It's not the
same. Bullet Club, I think.
It's not the Bullet Club we fell in love with.
No, the Bullet Club, I think, at this point, it's all the Elite now.
Yeah, exactly. They expected to see the Elite. I think that's why they bought the tickets. They bought it in advance.
Well, I don't think they're going to be disappointed. It's still going to be a good show, too. But I think if they try to do that again, they're probably not going to sell it as fast.
Because when was this announced? Last year?
Yeah, it was announced last year.
Summer?
Yeah, I remember we talked about it then.
In the summer. That was when Kenny Omega was still IWGP Heavyweight Champion. We figured he would go into MSG. Cody Rhodes was still a prominent figure, the Young Bucks. All In wasn't even happening. All In was just something
All In
cool.
was
All Elite Wrestling
was an experiment that we didn't know what it was going to lead to. We now know where it's going to lead to. It's leading to AEW, which...
Yeah, so I don't know if Ring of Honor New Japan can replicate that with MSG. That's what I'm worried about. I don't know.
I think they need to try it one more time and see what happens. Because if they don't sell out, then we know where the problem was.
Yeah.
But I think they need to... After this show... Because I think it's going to be good regardless.
Yeah.
But after that show, see what happens if they try doing it again. Because they have the money to do it. I know for a fact they have the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to go out and do it. As for AEW, they have the money and they're doing it. So, yeah, keep going. What do you think of the logo?
I like it. It's old school. It's simple. Gold and white with the black background. I love it. I think it's simple. I think it's nice. It's reminiscent of days prior, old school 80s wrestling. I am all for it.
All right. Just asking. What else do I want to ask? Because there's a couple other questions. Shit.
I think the biggest conversation we have now. Who's gonna go to All Elite? WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to ask if there were WWE guys that would leave. Most of the cruiserweight would leave in a heartbeat. Most of the cruiserweights.
Cedric, Jack.
Yeah, Jack would leave. Not Gulak.
Not Murphy.
Cedric, I don't think would go. Murphy would not. Mustafa now won't. He's getting a huge
Lucha House Party would probably go.
Most of them.
Like maybe at least Metalik.
Yeah, Metalik would probably go. Shoot. It's hard to know.
Noam Dar, I think, is going to be a big part of the UK division.
Yeah, Noam Dar staying in the UK.
Big fish in a small pond. I think Kendrick's going to stay in the WWE. Tozawa might stay in the WWE.
Kenta, well, not Kenta.
Kenta, I think Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami, he might leave. I could see him leaving.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of cruiserweights. I can't see Ziggler leaving.
No.
At this point, I can't see Ziggler. The Revival, on the other hand.
Oh my god, the matches that they would have with the Bucks would be incredible.
I think that
they can't be called the Revival and use their names, though, if they leave, though. They would have to come up with a whole new gimmick.
Well, they can do the mechanics.
They could do the mechanics.
They can go back to that. Who else would be really good? What about from the women's division? Do you think there'd be anyone from the women's division that would go to...
No. Not... At least in the main roster. No. Not yet.
Not even on the NXT roster, I can think.
I'm trying to think of, like, Mae Young Classic competitors that would have...
Mercedes Martinez, I could see going.
Yeah, Mercedes Martinez.
I could see her being a huge part of it. That's the only one I could think of. Any of the big guys? Do you think?
Big guys. I can't see McIntyre leaving.
No, McIntyre,
I think, is staying. Bobby Lashley's staying.
Rusev is a potential.
No, I think it depends where his U.S. Championship goes.
Yeah.
The big one I'm thinking of is AJ Styles. I think if he doesn't get the contract signings and agreements...
He did.
No, he didn't sign.
I can see AJ, and there's one other person I can see is Nakamura.
Possibly. I
can see Nakamura going there.
I think if there's really good rumblings... I think if Kenny Omega signs, there's definitely Nakamura.
Nakamura's a good shot. I
think if Kenny Omega signs, I definitely do believe that...
Possibly the Good Brothers.
I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't. I feel like they're at a nice age where they wouldn't. And plus they have Finn. So they could do they really could do a BC. Like if WWE wanted to really spring up do the BC storyline. Do the BC faction.
Here's the thing, do they want to do that now that All Elite's a thing?
Yes, they have to.
I don't know. Do they want to reference that? Because that could bring attention to All Elite Wrestling. That's the scary part.
I mean, they did that with TNA with tits and ass. I mean, it's not a stretch. I wouldn't see it going past it.
I'm not saying it as a stretch, but TNA in its infancy versus All Elite in its infancy.
Yeah, but we also thought TNA in its infancy was going to go somewhere. It's not in its infancy anymore, and then guess what? It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do see it happening. It's possible. I'm just saying I don't know how much they would really go for it. That's what I'm getting at.
I know people are rumbling about Zack Ryder possibly leaving, but I don't think so.
No.
I think the biggest names we have to look out for are the Japanese guys. Specifically Nakamura, the Good Brothers, possibly AJ. I don't know.
I think
AJ's fine.
If they want to keep AJ, they have to give him the contract that he wants. He wants slightly more money, and he wants a little bit more time with his family. That's really what he wants.
But the thing is, that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable, but in the past, they've never really done that, and that's not against AJ, but they've done that against other guys, and that's why they left.
But AJ made them a ton of money in only 3.
I'm not saying they wouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's a possibility because they're stubborn like that. I think now they have to think critically and they have to think competition because they have it again.
Yeah, because the fact that AJ Styles can perform at this level at 41.
That's saying something.
And consistently, he hasn't really been injured. I think he only had one.
They're gonna give a shit ton more to Daniel Bryan now because they have to.
Yeah. Because Daniel Bryan.
Hopefully they listen to what people are saying about Roman, and they do something with Roman.
I think that was another thing too I wanted to bring up. That's why Kenny wouldn't succeed in WWE.
Because of Roman.
No, not that. Because what's his gimmick?
Kenny? Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Daniel Bryan does it better.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
AJ Styles does all of his moves. But, he has that connection with the audience.
I mean, if they try doing, like, the cleaner, I'm going to clean out all these, like, ridiculous WWE standard guys because I'm, like, the Japan guy that's going to take over. They could do that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gimmick. It's just you have to work it so it matches.
That sounds cheesy.
Well, plus they would be feuding with the New Day.
No, he wouldn't. Who would be backing him up with the New Day?
The Good Brothers?
No, that was AJ's thing. Kenny never worked with the Good Brothers like that.
I mean,
AJ worked with the Good Brothers like that, and Finn worked with the Good Brothers. Never Kenny, because they left as soon as Kenny took over.
Yeah, good point.
What about Ring of Honor and New Japan? Do you see anyone going there?
What, to more All Elite?
To All Elite.
I see ZZJ, Zack Sabre Jr. He could go. What would be really cool that I think would be earth-shattering and shaking?
What?
Kota Ibushi.
Ibushi's not going to sign.
No, but imagine if that would happen, though. How earth-shattering would that be?
That would be big.
That'd be huge.
How is Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. still with Lucha Underground?
Yes, and they're also in TNA, so they're not going anywhere.
I thought they were done with TNA.
I don't think so. Let me think.
Because I would have think that they would make a great addition to the All Elite Wrestling roster.
It's possible.
Rosemary? Nah, Rosemary has a good spot going right now. That's the thing. A lot of the women, I think, Madison Rain just signed with Ring of Honor. Velvet Sky just signed with Ring of Honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I'm curious to see how their women's division's going to go, too. Because it's still in its infancy. We have until May 25th.
Like, see, if there's Impact guys, Austin Aries could go.
Yeah, Austin Aries could go.
It's possible Tessa Blanchard could go. I mean, she's the champ now at Impact, but that's a possibility.
No, it's Taya Valkyrie.
No.
Taya Valkyrie.
I'm looking at their website right now. It's still Tessa Blanchard.
Did you check Wikipedia?
I don't know. Do I want to trust the website of the actual wrestling company, or do I want to trust Wikipedia?
They also do tapings. She's the current Impact Knockout champion in her first reign.
Is that Taya?
Valkyrie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Ooh, you know what would be really cool if they get Brian Cage.
Cage would be a good addition. I think they could possibly get.
What if they get the Wolves? Eddie Edwards and Steve Richards.
I thought Davey Richards retired.
Or they could get Eddie Edwards. That'd be cool.
I would like to see him get some House of Hardcore guys. I'd like to see Tommy Dreamer in that promotion. I feel like that would be a really good one to do.
Let's see some knockouts.
That's the thing. I don't know what their women's division is gonna be like because a lot of them are in good spots with other companies. You know who I could see them getting? Joey Ryan, Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think they're gonna wait with the Priscilla Kelly thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if they take a stand to be like, no, this is art that if something about women's health or something like that. It's possible they could spin it into that kind of direction. I'm not saying I'm against or for it. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Let's see. I'm also looking at their alumni list. Maybe there's someone on. Ooh, what do they? No, he's probably can't get in there anymore. It'd be cool if they could get Amazing Red. I would love to see Amazing Red on.
I haven't seen Amazing Red in so long.
I think he's doing like House of Glory shows.
Okay.
So it's like indie stuff. But man, I would love to see Amazing Red back in like a TV wrestling thing again. Oh my god, he was so good.
Right now, I'm like looking up some.
Ooh, what about the Machine Guns? Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, they're with Ring of Honor right now, right?
Yeah, but what if they?
They could probably poach them off.
Yeah, they could.
Well,
that'd be cool.
Actually, yeah, because how's their relationship with the Young Bucks? Because I know they had a feud back in TNA in 2011.
Yeah, and they continued it in Ring of Honor.
What about James Storm?
Ooh, no, he's not. He's gonna go to WWE.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I think James Storm. I can see Bobby Roode leaving too. Now that I think about it, I can see Bobby Roode leaving, going to All Elite, especially if James Storm goes there. That would be really good.
Could we see any like New Japan's Bullet Club guys going?
No. No, I think there was some real life shit with that. With Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, Jay's.
Yeah, he had
Jay White.
at the end of the year last year, he went through like some weird shit. Like he went to like full bad guy attacking a wrestling website, rightfully because that website's pretty shit now, and then went into a good guy gimmick. That's what he's dealing with now.
I can't.
And it's really weird.
I can't see them poaching any more Bullet Club guys. The only one that I could see them poaching that was previously Bullet Club would be Marty Scurll, but he has his own thing going on with the Villain Club. Or Villain Enterprises, excuse me. Which is doing pretty well from what I hear. Or it has the potential to. Because they got, who's that new dude? The guy that was like Jean-Claude whatever. He's the 50-year-old that went into Ring of Honor and he's making waves.
PCO.
Yeah, PCO. He has PCO on his his team.
He would be cool to see again in a wrestling ring. Jesse Neal. I don't know if you remember him from
Ink.
Ink. That guy would. Oh, and Shannon Moore. Oh, get that tag team back because that was cool.
Yeah, but like
I think they need to officially get Joey Ryan because at that point they'd be like taking a real stance.
I want them to get Jimmy Jacobs. Personally.
Yes.
But I want him in the producer role because he
killed it for the List of Jericho. He killed it.
I think he would be great for that, and I think that's what they need to. They need to pick up producers. There's a lot of stuff they need. Commentating team. Who do you think they can get?
Who they can get? They could get Matt Striker. They could.
Nah, Striker's in a good deal with Lucha Underground right now.
Who did All In? It was
Kevin Kelly.
No, it wasn't Kevin Kelly. It was No, it was Ian. Wasn't it Ian Riccaboni?
Yeah, and
it was Ian Riccaboni and God, who was? It wasn't Tony Schiavone. Who was it?
Not Tony Schiavone.
No, I know. I was saying it's not Tony Schiavone. Who's the other? It was like another
Mike
old.
Tenay?
No, it wasn't Mike Tenay. It was another like old school guy. Shit, I can't remember.
Was it Cyrus? It wasn't Cyrus.
No, it wasn't Cyrus. He's with TNA.
Hold on, I'm looking it up now. Cyrus. I told you.
It was Cyrus? Really?
Cyrus, yeah. Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah.
Don Callis.
Don Callis, who's Cyrus.
Excalibur.
That's who it was.
Sean Mooney was an interviewer.
Sean Mooney. I could see Sean Mooney being an interviewer on
Bobby Cruz.
They're not gonna get Bobby Cruz. As much I love Bobby Cruz, but they're not gonna get Bobby Cruz.
Justin Roberts.
They could so get Justin Roberts back. I will be so pumped for that. Justin Roberts was literally the best for Monday Night Raw.
And then, damn it, Wade Barrett's in
Stu Bennett.
Lucha Underground right now.
Stu Bennett.
Yeah,
what if they get Ryback? Oh my god.
Justin Gabriel is what I'm hoping for.
What if they can somehow get Ted DiBiase Jr.?
I haven't heard from anything from him. They might.
I don't think that he would, but man, that'd be cool and get like a legacy kind of reunion for that. That'd be cool.
I think the biggest thing that I want to see is I want to see Pentagon in there. That's the big one I want to see. Besides Kenny.
Well, if Pentagon comes back, then they need to go into a feud directly with Kenny Omega if he signs. That's what needs to happen.
I would like to see Pentagon, Flip Gordon.
What if we get Rob Van Dam in it?
I can see Rob Van Dam going.
Man.
Because they do need to pick up some casual names.
Yeah, they need some captivating names.
I think Rob Van Dam would do it. They would just let him do whatever. Just no bad press. Seriously, that's literally all they,
Ooh, what if they could get Taz to do commentary? That'd be sick.
Taz would be good.
Taz would be
Taz and
so
Ian
great.
Riccaboni?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be
That'd
good.
be great.
I think they have some potential right now. They really do, because there's a lot of avenues, a lot of money, and a lot of people that want to see this succeed. So.
Yeah. I mean, if they poach some big names from both companies, they could go all the way with it.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
All right. Man, this episode went long, but...
It was because of All Elite Wrestling. That was the big thing.
That was. But we needed to talk about it. It's huge. It's going to be huge for the rest of 2019.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to watch Double or Nothing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching Double or Nothing.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for staying with us.
Until next time, Audio Marks. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the big three, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.